Hey, what's up everybody? This is Angry Hippie Lady, and I'm gonna go ahead right off the bat and apologize for any lag that happens in this video. We have had constant storms for almost 2 weeks now, and my internet always is really crappy during stormy times, and now that we've got a hurricane on the way, which is the whole point that I'm recording this episode so far ahead, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about that today. So yeah, fun times are ahead. Fun times are coming across the Atlantic Ocean. Here in eastern North Carolina, we're used to hurricanes. We get them every once in a while. We haven't had one in a while. Actually, it's been so long since we've had a decent one that this is actually my first one alone. So yeah, I'm a little worried. A lot of people have asked me if I'm scared or whatever. I am a little worried just because, you know, hurricane. And we've had a couple bad ones in the past. There's one in particular that I always refer to whenever I'm talking about hurricanes in this area, either to scare people or to be like, you know, we survived this. I think we can survive quite a few. But in '99 we had Floyd, and the town next to mine had a what's called a 500-year flood, and basically what that is, it's just based on how how far out the water was from the river itself. But every river has like these different areas where it's a 1 to 2 year flood, 10-year flood, 20-year flood, all the way up to I don't know how far they go up, but you know that one in particular was a 500-year flood, which means that it's really bad. Doesn't mean that it's going to happen every 500 years. Doesn't mean that there's a 500-year interval in between those floods. Just means that the rarity of that flood, it could be 500 years in between occurrences. And right now I'm doing mundane tasks to just kind of calm me. Yeah, I got a call from my doctor. They're like, "Hey, we accepted you. Would you like to go ahead and set up an appointment?" I panicked because I think I talked about this before, but I'm terrible with doctors. I get very anxious, and I immediately, like as soon as I hung up the phone, I was having a panic attack. So I basically I was like, "Sorry, getting ready for hurricane. Can I call you back later?" I don't think she fell for it. But anyway, yeah, so that happened today. So I'm trying to do very mundane things to just calm me down, and I figure talking about the hurricane might help with that too. But yeah, last I checked, it's a Category 3, which the category system, oh my god, I should have looked this all up. I used to know all this so well because of geology, and since, you know, we haven't really had a hurricane and I've been out of geology now for a while, I think it goes up to Category 5. I want to say it goes up to Category 5. There might be a Category 6, but there's never been a recorded Category 6 hurricane. One second. Sorry about that. So yeah, that's what the flood stuff is. But it's, like I said, it's been raining here for almost 2 weeks now, and hurricanes bring a lot of wind and a lot of rain. Currently, the track is that it's just gonna kind of skim across our coast. But the thing with hurricane tracks is they're fairly unpredictable. We're getting better and better about predicting where they're going to go and stuff like that. But there's still that random factor. But the way they make the tracks that you see on the Weather Channel or on their website or whatever is based on past hurricanes that have gone along that same path. So, you know, there's just so many factors to factor in, but yeah, so that's what's going on. I haven't checked today what category it is or anything. I checked the path, and that's how I knew about the path. Um, so where I am, we'll probably just get a lot of wind and rain, but not as bad as it going over us. If a hurricane goes over you, expect 3 or so days. Sometimes less, sometimes more. You know, it depends on how fast it's moving, how big it is. Hurricanes can get very, very big, and they can just stop. um, they aren't fast moving, but they can just stop and sit over you, and just drop buckets and buckets of rain and with the wind, it's really really bad. But our biggest worry here, like okay, just around my house, in between me and my neighbors, we all have 5 pecan trees. And if you don't know anything about a pecan tree roots don't go deep into the ground. They just kind of spread out over, not like the top of the ground, you know, but they just don't go deep, so they don't have a strong root system. So if the ground's really really wet and there's this really strong wind that comes along, they have a high probability of being blown over. So that's my main worry. Like, in my call to mom, it was like, has the house insurance been paid? You know, because that's the first thing I think of is if something does happen, you know, are we gonna be okay? um, and she's like, yes, the house insurance has been paid and everything. And we talked about that for a little bit, and so that's taken care of. I went through my checklist. Like tomorrow, I got to move the car before the hurricane gets here. I probably should have gone ahead and moved it today, but I didn't. I gotta make sure anything that's under trees that I care about is moved. That's why I have to move the car. Because where we park our cars in our driveway, it's under the pecan tree that we have. And usually that's nice because of the shade. But during storms, whenever there's a lot of wind or whatever, we always move our cars out from underneath the pecan tree. And, you know, we either put it out front wherever there aren't power lines, because we don't put them under power lines either, because if a power line comes down and it's still live, that's bad. So, yeah, you know, I've gone through, made sure that I have enough food for a week. You know, whenever you start talking about preparedness, you usually talk about, okay, am I set for a week? My dogs are set for 2 weeks on food, or my dog. I slipped up there. I'm not used to having one dog yet, I guess. My cats are set for 2 weeks. I have 6 jugs of water. We keep jugs around anyway. We used to have turtles, and using water straight out of the tap was really bad for them. So we would set the water out for like 2 or 3 days before we would change our water, and we would make sure that it's been sitting out for a while, because it's better for the turtles. But anyway, now I do that because it's easier doing that and just picking up a jug and taking it outside for the dog's water than anything else. So yeah, I'll have 6 jugs of water. I've already got a bag of ice that we had from a previous hurricane in the freezer. And I have like a week's worth of food frozen that I can just set out and eat at room temperature, and it's already cooked and everything. And like I've told everybody who goes over this checklist with me, because I told my boyfriend's mom that, you know, there's a hurricane, if I'm offline for however long, this is what's going on. I will find a way to get a hold of you guys, to make sure that you guys know I'm okay, and all that stuff. And I was like, I've got this amount of food. I can make it last 2 weeks in a survival situation, but I can be comfortable on a week. I won't be extremely happy if it lasts 2 weeks, or I have to make it last 2 weeks, but I will be fed. Maybe a week and a half. I can be comfortable. So maybe 2.5 weeks. Really depends. I'm really good about rationing when I need to. I don't have any batteries. That's my biggest downfall is batteries. But I have a flashlight that I only use in case of emergencies. I have candles, whatever. I don't have I have a hand crank radio, and that has a light on it. So I mean, really, if worse comes to worse, I have that. Books. I mean, I have so many books. If I need entertainment, I have constantly made sure that the tablet is charged. I can't do anything with my laptop. I mean, my laptop, as soon as it comes off the charger, it's almost dead. So if the power does go out, I'm not gonna be able to do anything with YouTube. So, but I am recording ahead of time. There will be videos. I'm trying to make sure that I have videos for a week. Once again, being prepared for a week if anything happens. So, oh no. Okay, that's still there, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. I have jump boost 2 now. So that's nice. There we go. Yeah, so don't worry about videos going out or anything like that. I have tried my best to make sure that there will be plenty of videos for you guys. I just need to do a lot of scheduling in between now and then, just to be absolutely sure. I'm gonna try and make sure that the thumbnails are done too, tagging, all that good stuff. So everything should be alright. But any comments that happen, that if you don't get a response to your comments or anything like that, then that means that I am offline, I have gone dark, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. I have given my boyfriend, there's an event that's supposed to happen this coming Saturday, and that is the UHC, votable UHC. I have given him instructions in case I do not make it back online by Friday, which would be a very extreme case. Where I am, they are very good about getting power back on within moments. Every time we've lost power in my memory, we've gotten it back in the middle of a storm. Last time we had a hurricane and power went out, like not 30-45 minutes later, it went back on. Granted, it did cut back off after that, but it got cut back on again in the middle of the eye of the storm. So around here we rarely have those kinds of extreme cases where power goes out and stays out. Woohoo! Go town. But yeah, so I'm safe. I'm being as safe as possible, as you can be with a force of nature. So don't worry about me. I'm not worried. Like I said, I am worried. I'm not scared. There's a difference. Oh, that changed. It was not like that before. But yeah. There is definitely a difference in between worried and scared. Worried? Yes. Scared? No. I used to get scared of hurricanes, mostly because I really didn't know what they were, understood anything about them, and now I understand a whole lot more. I feel like I know a whole lot more, and it's just a big storm to me. Um, I I have, faith in my house, although it's not 100%, there are problems with it. There's problems that I'm having to deal with it right now because of all the rain. Um, but I do have faith in its stability to stand a hurricane. And if not, I've been through this with my boyfriend's mom too. If something does happen to the house where if a tree goes through it or for some reason it falls, I have one neighbor that I've known since I was a baby, on one side, and then I have another neighbor that I don't know as well, but they are nice people and they would take me in if I needed a bed or somewhere to rest my head for the night. And also, I've mentioned before that I do go to church, and those people have known me once again since I was a baby, and they would take me in for as long as I needed. No doubt about that. Multiple people would uh, definitely offer me a place in their house, if I really needed it. And I know one person for sure that I could call at 2 a.m. and he would probably come here and take me somewhere, anywhere. That he was my old youth minister, and he's a really cool guy. His whole family's really nice. All, God, 8 of them. Large family. But anyway, yeah. So don't worry about me. I just want to let you guys know, since it's a big thing happening. I will probably talk about it again in the Rust Bucket because, like I said, I'm trying to make sure that I have as many videos for the coming week already recorded. Actually, you know what? I won't record the Rust Bucket episode. If you don't see a Rust Bucket episode, then you know that I don't have power or internet or whatever. But if you do see one, then that means that I am okay, and I will talk about anything that's happened due to the storm. It will still be raining at that time. We are expected to continue receiving rain for another 2 weeks. Yeah, you heard me right. 2 weeks. It's been raining for 2 weeks. We're gonna have rain for a full month. No, I don't live in a rainforest. I don't live in Washington State or anything like that. No. We're just, I don't know. It's like all the rain that we were missing out on since forever has decided to finally join us here and flood us. And we are flooding. My yard is pretty much underwater right now. All of it. Just in time for me. I tried to cut the yard some yesterday because it was extremely high to the point of it bothered me. Which is pretty bad. If I get bothered by the height of grass, that's really, really bad. Just so you know. Yeah, I didn't get it all cut, but I got at least like 2/3 of the yard cut before I just couldn't anymore because of the clumps of grass in the lawnmower. Like you have to clear out all the clumps from around the blades and stuff like that. Yeah, fun stuff. This is great. Having a jolly good time here in eastern North Carolina. No, I really love North Carolina. It's a beautiful place. Um, yeah, we have an amazing beach. Probably arguably one of the better beaches in the United States. I mean, it's natural. We don't have like sand shipped in or anything like that. Whatever you see is the beach. The beach I went to not too long ago, like 2 weeks ago. No, a little over 2 weeks ago now, I think. Before all this rain started, has like a huge drop off. But that's because high tide is just like worn away out of it. It's not huge. It's like a couple feet. Um, but it still is. It's an amazing beach, and we have a bunch of cool little islands that you can go to. My favorite one that's always like I keep up with it during every single hurricane because I absolutely adore that place. But it's Ocracoke Island, and it's it's on its own. Like the only way you can get to it is a 45-minute ferry ride, and I love it. Like that is the safest I've ever felt being on that island. Like I've never been able to feel so safe that I felt like I could go out on a walk on my own and be safe. Because you have to take a boat ride to get there, and then you have to take another boat ride to get out. You're not gonna go there, take that long of a boat ride, and then commit a crime, and then have to take a boat ride out. And you can only take a boat ride in the middle of the day. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. I've got other series to record. I've got other preparations to make sure I'm ready. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I'm Angry Hippie Lady, and I will see you in the next episode. Peace out.